Changemakers, and welcome to The Core, sponsored by Red Apple EdCo. This is your Everything Education podcast. We talk about current events, books to read. We interview education leaders, hear their stories, learn from their biggest lessons, and they share what they wish you knew about what it means to be in education today. I'm your host, Dr. Kia Turner. Buckle up for small seeds of inspiration that can lead to big changes in your classroom practice. Let's take a bite out of today's guest. Hi, everybody. I am here at EdCamp North Louisiana with Miss Nikki, and we are going to just have a quick conversation about things Miss Nikki thinks you need to know, what drives her as an educator, and how, if you're interested in something she's talking about, you can definitely connect with her. So thank you for sitting down, Miss Nikki. I appreciate
Thank you for
that.
the opportunity.
I'm glad. We only have 10 minutes on my free Screencastify.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and get started. So first, why do you teach?
I teach because I realize that I can make a difference. I feel like it's part of my ministry, and I have a strong belief. And it's part of my ministry to minister to children.
Amen.
I've always worked with children, church, community. I've always had children at my house in my presence. So teaching just came naturally to me. And I really like to see the difference in when a child enters my classroom versus when the child leaves. And that's part of the mission of when we enter our classroom. I tell my parents, I guarantee you that your child will be a different child when they leave than when they enter the classroom.
That's powerful. That's amazing. Let's move to second. What's one thing you're doing in your classroom right now that excites you? Miss Nikki works with the littles. Okay, so when you're thinking of ECE, pre-K up through second grade in Missouri, third grade here in Louisiana, that's the age range that she's dealing with. Go ahead. So what's exciting you right now?
I'm transitioning to student-led teacher.
Oh.
I come from teacher, we just instruct. The children learn.
Yes.
They learn what we teach them. They remember what we teach them. And then they regurgitate it on a test or an assessment.
Right.
Well, now I'm incorporating teaching the children how to think for themselves.
Oh, you better, honey. Yes.
Because I want them to know not only A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and what letter comes next. I also want them to know what is an alphabet, what significance is an alphabet, and that each letter is significant and why. And I think that once we establish that foundation, then they can go ahead and teach another child, and we can go ahead and start the process.
So you want to basically wake up a desire for learning from a very young age.
Yes.
And help them to understand the why of what they're doing.
Yes, exactly.
Again, with the littles, okay? So think about that. Imagine a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old really grasping the concepts that they're being introduced to and understanding their application from that age. That is very remarkable. Number 3, what's one resource you think every educator should know about?
Family.
Well, say it again. If we've met, I say the power of the parent is your strongest lever.
Oh, wow. See, I never knew that you said that. But yes, family is a resource that's often overlooked. As teachers and educators, we understand that we have the children most of their day, but we also have to realize that parents and the family unit can help or hinder the child.
Well,
therefore, if we can't reach out to the family as a whole, then we can't reach that child.
How do you recommend, right? Because I'm thinking about the teachers that may be following or even administrators. And they're like, I have tried to invite family into my building, into my classroom. I get no response. I call and all the numbers are disconnected. Right. What do you say in that instance? What's one strategy?
Well, in our center, we have drop off and pick up. We don't really have the transportation right now.
No busing.
Right.
Okay.
So in the morning times and in the evening, that's when I make a lot of my connections.
I love that.
But I also send home paperwork. Now, there are, of course, going to be some parents who are not going to be as interactive as other parents. But I try to find something to do, like I will call them and I'll be like, little Johnny made this accomplishment today. We're congratulating him at school. Can you do something at home to do that?
Just giving them one thing to interact with their child.
Exactly. I also call them and invite them specifically. Can you come on Wednesday and read to us? Or can you come on Thursday and color with us? Because even if they can't do one thing, they can do something else.
So it sounds like you create tasks and meaningful opportunities for them to plug in. So you're not just pushing out information, but you're saying, hey, you can get involved and here's one thing you can do to help us.
And I also send home homework. And I make sure that I tell them from day one, it's not about the child getting the homework correct. It's about the interaction between the child and the parent. You're showing them that learning is important to you by taking the time to do something with them as far as homework.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We're almost there. Look, 5 minutes on the screencast. Let's go. We only have 2 more questions. We have 2 more. So number 4, what was your last aha moment as a professional? Like, wow.
I had a student this year who they deemed as nonverbal. And when he came into our classroom, I saw his potential and I was going to try my best to get out of that child what I could. When he walked into the classroom, I would not let him pass the door unless he said good morning. I would say good morning. At first, it was like, and I would let him pass. Then eventually we got to like good. And then we got to good. And so when we got to good morning and then good morning, Miss Nikki, I was excited.
Yes. You will speak.
But when he leaves now, it's goodbye. I don't let him come in or leave out. I set a level of expectation. He knows that I have that level of expectation. And I'm going to push him to his full potential. My aha moment was when he made a sentence and I almost passed out. My aide looked at me because he was like, Miss Nikki, look at him. I looked, but I was more focused on him. So that was my aha moment when he made his first complete sentence.
Is that one of the times you called home and let a parent
know? Of
know?
course I did. I just called him and asked him, could you come to the school right now?
Say it again, baby.
Yeah.
Say it
and
again.
I was like, could you tell him what you said?
Wow.
So, yes.
That has to be, and I always say that as educators, but sort of is the battery in our back and keeps us going is when all of the work we put in sort of shows itself.
Exactly.
A lot of the things we do, you don't see until years later.
Right.
You know, I always have students who come back and who are like, oh, Miss Turner, you know, I really appreciate this or that. But to be able to, in the moment, see the impact that you're having, or even over the course of a semester. See, this is the impact you're having on a child. That is like worth getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and staying up late, you know, designing learning experiences because you know it is having an impact.
Right. And he's so excited about school now. So we have to give him different tasks to achieve. And it's like he wants to achieve them because he knows that we have expectations for him.
Okay.
So that goes back to family. Family is very important. He has an awesome family. And his grandmother came in and he was like, I'm glad you guys helped us, but now he won't be quiet.
And that's a good problem to have. Okay, last one and we'll wrap up. In a few words, what do you think every educator needs to know?
Every educator needs to know that you can make a difference. Do not compare yourself to another educator.
There you go.
One of the main things that I had the hardest time learning was I'm not going to be able to teach everything to every child. That was one of my hardest lessons to learn because I wanted the children to learn everything in 1 year. Don't beat yourself up.
There you go.
But if you remain consistent, to you. If you can remain consistent from day one, the child can show a difference. And make sure that you don't compare that child's progress to another child's progress, but from where they are at day one versus where they are at the end of the year. And if there is any type of improvement, then you have done right by that child. If you haven't had any type of improvement, I want you to take a self-assessment and see what you can do different.
I love that. Well, as you can see, Miss Nikki is amazing. You can find out more about her, how to get in contact with her, and any other information that she wants to share under the Educators You Need to Know tab on toadminwithlove.wordpress.com.
I'll be back soon. Bye, you guys.
Thank you.
That's all we have for today. Thank you for listening to The Core. Wherever you are listening to us, be sure to like our show, subscribe, and share the episode that's meant the most to you. We appreciate every single one of our subscribers, as do our sponsors. We look forward to seeing you next week. You can also check us out on YouTube at Red Apple EdCo if you'd like to see more video of these conversations. We have them posted there.